The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Monday, the 19th day of December, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, and Lindos. I'm Jamel Hartman. She's Sencha Dorman. Tamara McHale will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sister Sencha, how are you?
Good morning. I am great this morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I mean, I'm cool. I'm cool.
How's your time been in Bermuda?
Well, Sister Sencha, it's been great. And, I think we are just one of the people. So I've been privileged to spend some time with some of the TDH community. Did I tell you Mark Arthur C. Phillips, hadn't seen him in about 15 years. He came by. Yeah, we rapped and chatted. I've seen Traveling Trotty. We spent some time Tuesday, a couple of weeks ago with Maya. Last week I got with Shayna Smith. She's always in the comments at lunch, and then Michelle White. We had coffee last week. So folks, hey,
making your rounds.
Yeah. It's good to be amongst the people. So I loved being out there, and as a reminder, folks, like, hey, we are on camera, but we are still one of you. So I'm very open to chilling. So Bermuda's been great, mainly because, family, friends, and the TDH community showing love,
So I'm feeling a little jealous. So before you get back on that plane, I need a date.
Well, I mean, if you and Maddox have any time for a brother, let me know, shucks.
Exactly.
I really did feel bad because I wanted to see him race before I left, and doesn't.
Yesterday was supposed to be racing, but it was so rainy and windy they canceled.
Mhm.
And honestly, I'm happy that very rarely happens. Like, you go down there, it'll be like a hurricane, and to be like a rider, you have to have like this different mindset. And they're like, "No, we're riding," and I'm looking like, "Are you all serious? You cannot be like, this is dangerous." No.
Looks like a mama.
So they canceled yesterday, thank God.
But see, well, you know what? I'll make it. It's part of. I'm gonna make it there. I'm gonna make it there. I'm gonna come with my sign like the folks do when we used to go to Georgia Dome to watch them. So I'm gonna make it there. So Maddox, don't worry. Uncle Jay, I'll be there, brother. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today. We're going to be discussing World Cup lessons and the benefits of shopping locally. The Daily Play is more holiday trivia. And speaking about my trip here so far, we're discussing the World Cup. Sancha, did you see the final yesterday?
I did. I was on the edge of my bed. Oh my goodness, the entire time.
Yeah. I don't. I'll say this much: when I don't have a team, it's so much more fun, and. It's like I wanted Messi to win because I just literally love watching him play. Like, love watching him play. I have in my lifetime, right? I didn't get to see Pele. I got to see the most controversial and World Cup I had ever seen was like the first one I had ever seen, right? The Hand of God, Diego Maradona. The next World Cup was, I think, the last of West Germany. Germany, no, but West Germany and Argentina, where I believe they beat Argentina 1-0 in the final. So those were like, you don't have the understanding. It wasn't until 94, Romario in penalties, I think, against Italy, where I probably said I wanted to be for Brazil because it was just the norm at that time, right? But I haven't really embraced another country and said, "Oh, I'm for this team. This is my team," simply because I'm for Bermuda. Really, right? I'm
Right.
that guy. I'm that guy. But to want two people in a final win is so much less stressful.
I was actually gonna say, I tend to be more for the person. So
Mhm.
I was a huge Thierry Henry fan back in the day.
Ah,
Huge Thierry Henry. This is when I used to watch football, and then I stopped watching football. And now that my son Maddox plays football, I'm back into it again. So now we're like big Mbappe fans. So I
yeah.
guess, I'm more for a player, but I did. So I was not for Argentina yesterday,
Mhm,
but I did want to see Messi successful.
mhm.
Um, but like I said, I'm a big Mbappe fan, so and he's so young, right? And
I agree. I mean, my God,
what he did yesterday?
some players make their debut in a World Cup at 23. He was going for his second World Cup at 20, and not second World Cup like he was a passenger on a team, folks. Second World Cup as the main attraction to a team that made it to the finals for the second World Cup in a row. That's hard. And when I say it's hard, making it to the World Cup. Well, there was a time when the champions automatically qualified for the World Cup. No, they now have to qualify. Making it to the World Cup is not as easy as people think. Like it's a lot of games of a time of a period of time. So look, there were some lessons there though, because if you remember when the World Cup was announced in Qatar, I haven't seen the documentary. Some people say you got to watch it, the corruption and so on.
Mhm.
When the World Cup was announced, there were a lot of complaints about how are they going to play a World Cup in Qatar. It's going to be hot. Traditionally, the World Cup is held June into July. They moved it to December, interrupting the seasons of most European clubs. Well, European clubs don't run football. So the Summer World Cup actually interrupts the season of many other leagues, the Major League Soccer in the United States. So to me, the time thing, I would prefer it in the summer when children are out of school and so on for us. But hey, other parts of the world do things differently. Second thing was people were on about the human rights laws and so on. Here's what I'll say about human rights laws. I don't know a country who has it all right. I mean, as long as the death penalty exists in a country, for me, you have human rights laws. We need to honestly stop trying to be the moral barometer for others, especially when our house is not in order. So I'll say that. Now, as far as the football played, the time zones and everything, that's always going to be an issue. Time zones, somebody's not going to be lucky. But as far as football played in one of the best tournaments, let's remember Argentina, if I'm not mistaken, lost their first game to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Let's remember that. To me, this was an exciting reminder of the power of sport. It was an exciting reminder that Qatar, as small as it is, can put on a show like that. I see some criticism this morning about the Qatari people making Messi cover up his jersey during the celebrations with the thing that he had on, and saying they're making it about Qatar. Man, don't tell me you all won't try to put a Gumby cape on this
I
brother.
was just gonna say I didn't see it that way. I saw it.
Didn't?
I kind of saw it. Them kind of putting their culture like we've hosted. Here you go. Let me bless you with this. This is what we would wear.
Correct.
It's part of our culture. I
Correct.
didn't see it that way at
That's how
all.
I saw it. That's how I saw it.
I feel like there's always, it's gonna always be someone trying to find the negative within, and I feel as if I'm an outsider looking in. I'm not Miss Traveling Trotty.
Yeah. We're calling you out. Mind you, she's probably on a plane somewhere else now. But
I know, right?
Mhm.
But I, you know, from what I saw, I felt like it looked like it ran well. It was amazing football. Like this World Cup here, there were so many upsets and surprises, and the one thing that I did like, that we have said before, that they didn't bend for anyone. It's like
Correct.
this is who we are. This is our culture. We are bringing World Cup to
Well, let's ask the audience real class quick while you continue. What was your favorite part of the World Cup, folks? But go ahead, Sanchez.
Yeah, we're hosting you, and let me show you how we host. That's kind of what I got from it, rather than trying to say this is what's normally done at World Cup. So, but once again, I wasn't there to see it, but just based on what I've seen, them saying, okay, we're not going to have alcohol, well, we're not,
Yep.
it's things that it's like you're here, enjoy your experience here.
I saw a meme joke yesterday, Sanchez said, if this is the kind of game we get from banning alcohol at World Cups, we need to ban alcohol everywhere. But joking, but it's like, hey. Folks, let's get this question. What can Bermuda learn from Qatar's World Cup display? And I'm going to just, I don't have my phone with me. Sanchez, can you go on the Instagram? The Instagram for the Daily Hour, we had some responses to the question we put up on there is what can we learn from Qatar's World Cup experience? A couple of responses was shared on there, but let's go to the audience real quickly. Michelle White says, good morning. Not to be greedy, Jamal, but I'm putting my dibs for another coffee on your next visit because it looks like your list is getting long. Yeah, but Michelle White was the first person I hung out with. Traveling Trotty was, then Michelle White, then Shayna Smith, and then Mark Arthur C. Phillips. So, folks, I'm telling you, I hang out with you. I'm a regular person. Let's hang out. If you got time, I'll find time. Sanchez the only one that doesn't find time for me. That's all I'm saying.
Stop it.
Yeah, Mbappe was awesome. I agree, Michelle.
Amazing.
Philip's favorite part is you want to pull that? Go ahead.
Philip Trot says Morocco's deep run in the tournament was my favorite part.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. I mean, think about the African countries, the people who have hope now. Like, that could be us. That could be us.
I have one of the from Instagram. One of the comments is, what can Bermuda learn from Qatar hosting the World Cup? How to attract people without losing your cultural identity.
I said that some weeks ago, folks. I said that. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Another one is have money, host the World Cup.
Yeah.
So a third one is sporting events equals cash flow.
Sporting events equals cash flow. I mean, we did have a sporting event that kind of did that, the America's Cup, right? I mean, didn't Craig?
I feel that
was the last time we had a plot surplus or something like that.
Yeah.
You want to go to the comments because I'm trying not to do it. Let's go to Charles H. Jeffers a second. He says, the unpredictability of the games was my favorite part. Mark Arthur C. Phillips says, good morning. My favorite part was the final. Tanya Cheeseman says exactly what Sandra said, staying true to our culture. Well, let's touch on that a bit more. Let's touch on that. So the question is, what can Bermuda learn from Qatar's World Cup display? Sandra.
Yes.
There's this thing, and I always pick on Dr. Seaman because, I know people have varied opinions about Dr. Seaman, but one thing she does is she sticks to her guns, whether it's a good thing or bad thing to some people. But she's been championed to say, we're losing our culture, be it this, that, and the other. Now, I do think there are things we need to evolve in, right? A lot of things we need to evolve. But what does evolving look like? Do we have to do things like, let's use alcohol. That's the least controversial thing. Qatar would not budge on alcohol. Now, some people say, well, yes, they did if someone was in a suite and they had money, right? Like people who had the money, they did budge. Name a place that doesn't do that. Bermuda budgets for money, especially when they're in this position they're in, they need it, right? But what do we believe Bermuda should stand firm on as it tries its best to attract investment here? Like, what is it that we should say, no, this is who we are, this is how we are, accept us how we are, or go elsewhere? Or can we not do that because we're just in such a crap place? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't. I feel like we're willing to. I respectfully say, and I hope that no children are watching right now, their sleep is no school. I respectfully feel that Bermuda's in such a bad state, they will prostitute this country for $1. I don't think Qatar's in that space. And that's why they were able to stand firm and strong in their cultural identity and their norms and not have to sway to allow what they didn't agree with in their culture and community.
But I think with Bermuda, the first thing we do is shove alcohol. It's like just give them alcohol and they'll have fun. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Rather than really curating.
But if that's their thing, I mean, if it works.
Well, I was gonna say with rather than really curating an experience.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like alcohol always works. Okay, I don't drink anymore, so
Mhm.
I get there. I need more than that.
Mhm. And Qatar seemed to have given more. I mean, there were people that seemingly went there and enjoyed themselves. What can Bermuda learn from Qatar's World Cup display? I know you guys have solutions to this. I mean, you moan about Bermuda not having this or that. Like, what can we learn from it? To me, I mean, I know we had some people in the audience who were there. Sean DeShield says, actually being
Yeah.
there was my best part. Well, Sean, you didn't give me details of how I could have been there with you. I thought we were mates.
Listen, I am extending my olive branch. I would like to travel with Traveling Trotty and Sean the Shields.
Yeah.
When you're going on these excursions, can you please invite us?
Mhm.
I would like to come.
We can do the show from wherever, folks. You know what
Let's
I'm
have
saying? Like,
it.
we can do it. Sean DeShields goes on to say it was very well organized from landing at the airport to going to the stadiums, as well as the other fun supporting activities. So, Sean, quick question to you: as you were there, as you were present, did you stay in Qatar? Because I know a lot of people were staying in like Dubai and flying over. Like, where were you guys look like? How did just give us a bit more details and like what can Bermuda learn from the experience? I consider you an expert, experienced person in tourism. What do you think Bermuda can learn from what you witnessed and experienced? Carla John said, "Don't you think the reason Qatar can stand firm is because they are super rich and didn't host the World Cup for profit?" Yes, I said that.
Yeah.
That's why I said Bermuda's not in a position, and they basically need to prostitute themselves. So yes, I don't disagree with that, Carla. But there's still lessons that we can learn from that. Lessons we can learn is obviously we don't have any oil, but we can stop digging ourselves in a bigger hole in debt so that we can actually be less desperate when trying to attract investment, right? I'm
Mhm.
just saying, there's ways to do this. Michelle White and Rosalind famous for you, Sanj?
Michelle White says, I'm always interested in what happens to the arenas when the lights go out after the events. I believe one is to be used as a university field. I was thinking that yesterday. I was like, okay, when this is over, what are they going to do? But I also had heard, and I could be wrong, you are big into football, so you would know. Um, they're going to be investing more money into football, right? Like a player's supposed to be heading that way.
Who, Qatar?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, the Arab nations, period. If you look at like the offer that was spoken about during the World Cup, Ronaldo being offered a huge amount of money. They're looking to make their way into that. They've had the current Barcelona coach, Xavi. He was coaching down there in the Middle East recently, so they're trying to attract big names and players to grow football in the region.
Good relief.
This is another first. Is if we remember, 2010 was the first time a World Cup was held in on the continent of Africa, right in South Africa. This is the first time an Arab state has been able to host the World Cup. So I think those things are progress. Again, it's the world's game, and I think everyone deserves a shot. Looking forward to 2026 in Canada, the United States, and Mexico. My hope is that um, because it's a bigger tournament, it doesn't take away from the quality. You know,
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I
Like
don't feel good about it. I'm be honest with you.
we're in the Americas. Like what can we pick a place?
Well, I mean, in fairness, what was it? 94 when it was in the U.S. back then? Was it 94, folks? Like, I can't remember. But there's this. Well, in fairness, Mexico calls it football, but the soccer boys, we're not fans of the soccer boys. What can Bermuda learn? I think I want to go back to that comment about um, sports. Someone said sports that you read from Instagram. Someone said sports. Um, I think that's an important comment, Sancho, the sports one, because we gave credit to the Bermuda Tourism Authority some weeks ago about sports tourism. One of the events they had this year, it was the race. The international runners came down in April, right? I think that was huge. And I think that,
Enjoyed.
yeah, but I think it was a missed opportunity by Bermuda's media to really highlight that. Like, you have the best track athletes in the world, and we did not, in my opinion, hype it like we did the America's Cup. And that's not saying taken away from the America's Cup. I'm just saying we need to like get this is. I mean, it was on NBC, not
Yeah,
NBC
we didn't
Sports,
take the opportunity.
right? We didn't.
Yeah.
So I feel like we understand what sports tourism can do for us. We just need to invest in it and support it.
I mean,
Because
we've had this year, we've had quite a few. What have we had? We've had the PGA, we had the triathlon, we've had rugby, we've had, I'm sure, some sort of sailing.
yeah, the one in May, I forgot what it's called, but yeah,
Yeah.
and
So
the track event. So it's big.
yeah, yeah. So on Instagram it said sporting events equals cash flow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do. They do. And and Qatar showed us a lot of lessons in how to do sports tourism right. Sean DeShields says, I stayed 5 minutes from where the final match was played near the town of Lucelle. Wow. Wow. So Sean DeShields, if you have a minute, just tell us what Bermuda can learn from what you experienced. What do you think Bermuda can learn? Sandra, let's just say, I mean, 2026, if we're blessed lucky to still be here, we're going to the World Cup in one-year stadiums.
Without a question.
Yeah, it's much closer. It's much
Me
closer.
and Maddox in our pocket.
I might want to go to Mexico for the first time, watch a game or two.
Let's go.
No, in fairness, folks, I've been to a World Cup game before, I did.
Which one did you go to?
And it was the Women's World Cup. It was in Montreal. It was in 2015, and it was a match between Canada and the Netherlands. So I went to a Women's World Cup back then, and it was quite the atmosphere. It was at that point I was reminded why I don't like being in big crowds anymore. Yeah. Sean DeShields, before we bring in Tamara, says getting around was very easy. The metro and buses were free. Catching Uber was never a problem and inexpensive. I think Sean DeShields is basically saying these are things that we need to get right in Bermuda. Simple. Yeah, let's bring Tamara in. Oh, yeah, you heard that, Sandra? Folks, you heard that. Let's bring Tamara in for the Daily Hour News. Hey, folks, you remember, be nice to her because her team, they got knocked out by last week or something. Remember, she was a little. So let's hope she's feeling a bit better. Let's bring her in. All right. So be nice to her. All right.
Good morning, everybody. I heard that, Jamel.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I know how people are. They like, oh well, who was your team? And I just wanted to remind them who your team was so that I mean.
Yeah, my team was Brazil, but we reached very far in the tournament. We did, but it was a bittersweet moment for me yesterday because I felt like, oh my gosh, that should have been us. But it was, as you both were commenting, an exciting match. The best match I've ever watched, football match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Big up to Messi and big up to Mbappe.
Yeah, I agree. I think one of the things I really loved is in the United States, people always say, "Oh, soccer's so boring." I'm like, "Well, you didn't see soccer yesterday. You saw a football match, all right?" And it was just a thrilling encounter. And what I really liked is when France scored their goals, it was so far to the end, and it reminds us you cannot stop watching a game 2-0. Most people think the game's over. Now, keep in mind, Argentina against Netherlands, they were up 2-0, and Netherlands scored the same time period. So I always knew there was a chance, but I'm just glad that the world got to witness some of the best football at the biggest stage. Around this
world. In the world.
Yeah.
Definitely some lessons there indeed. Oh, all right, let me get on to some news. So, of course, this is the Daily Hour news break for today, Monday, December 19, brought to you by the People's Pharmacy, and I'm Tamara McHale. In the news today, in Bermuda, a police officer who pleaded guilty to intruding on the privacy of a woman was on Saturday dismissed by the Bermuda Police Service with immediate effect after the plea and an internal review process. The officer in question is Police Constable Sean Simons. In a release, Police Commissioner Darren Simons said, quote, "While the dismissal of a colleague is always difficult, members of the BPS must at all times act in accordance with our code of ethics and standards of professional behavior," end quote.
Mhm.
And still in news from Bermuda, COVID-19 cases are increasing, with several of the island's nursing homes affected by an outbreak of the virus. The health minister, Kim Wilson, told a press conference last Friday. She noted that this is especially worrying given that these are vulnerable people, and anyone visiting care homes, they're being told that they should wear a mask and take an antigen test. The minister said more than 32 staff and residents at the homes have been infected with COVID-19. Ms. Wilson said that as the island heads into the festive season, every precaution should be taken.
Honestly, I just want to say, folks, I know we're in a space where we're learning to live with it, but just be very conscious of the vulnerable people that you may visit this holiday season, be it a grandmother, an aunt, a mother, just anyone who has a condition. Just be very conscious when going around it. I know people feel like, oh, well, it's just a part of life. And it is. But that doesn't mean we have to be reckless. So that's my only word.
I also want to say, I feel like people aren't testing anymore. Like,
Mhm.
don't be afraid to have a few tests at home and test. You have a sore throat, you have please test yourself.
That's my latest result, folks.
Yeah, test yourself.
I've been shaking hands and hugging people. You know, Shara's got me out here hugging people. You know, I don't usually do that stuff. But anyway, what else you got for us?
Good advice. Well, the Video Awards recently announced that out of 2,500 submissions from over 21 countries, the Bermuda Tourism Authority's BTA Lost Yet Found campaign was named the winner of 3 Platinum Video Awards. So those awards, those categories were for non-broadcast, short-form web videos, 3 minutes travel adventure, 2 non-broadcast, short-form web videos, 3 minutes culture lifestyle, and 3 non-broadcast creativity videography. So Tracy Berkeley, interim CEO of the BTA, commended the team for the hard work that resulted in the win. So good news there for the BTA.
Well,
And
Tomorrow,
Well-
don't you dare. Don't you dare skip on.
well. Let me just say this with respect to Miss Berkeley and the BTA. I commend them for this award. You know, great. I mean, I don't live for awards personally. I live for results. But being recognized for great marketing is not people being able to eat. So my hope is that this great marketing and these videos lead to people being able to feed themselves off of the work of the Bermuda Tourism Authority. So credit due for that. But that's 2% of what needs to be done so that my people can eat. There you go. Sorry.
All right, fair enough. And on to some other regional news. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, opposition leader Godwin Friday has called on the Minister of Finance, Camila Gonzalez, to say which program he will cut from the, quote, bloated 2023 budget. So Parliament has approved estimates of revenue and expenditure for next year, 2023, of Eastern Caribbean $1.45 billion, paving the way for the presentation of the budget on January 9. But responding to the estimates, the opposition leader told lawmakers that bloating the fiscal package is deliberate and it's not a miscalculation or best wishes. And he said that even though the budget cannot be implemented, it is bigger every year. So
Interesting. Sounds familiar. I'll leave it at that. That sounds very familiar. Yeah.
well, that's politics for you. And over in Trinidad and Tobago, scores of Tobago taxi operators and the Drivers Association, as well as the Tobago Taxi Cooperation and Unique Taxi Association, have advised the Tobago public that taxi fares for stands in Scarborough and A&R Robinson International Airport will be increased effective today. So this follows a meeting held with the three parties where the decision was taken. They said that they looked at certain factors, including the increases of oil and gas prices. However, many members of the public are not pleased with the increase, as you can imagine.
Yeah. I mean, look, sometimes you don't even have to know the laws of the land to understand why people are upset with certain things. And I completely get it. So,
Definitely. And finally, wrapping it up in the news, in the Cayman Islands, they have launched a grassroots public education and awareness campaign for persons with disabilities. So it's to promote equal rights and legal protection for those persons, especially as it relates to access, parking, or blue spots. So the campaign is called the Save My Spot Now campaign, and it has been developed to encourage compassion and advocacy for members of the community with visible and invisible disabilities who rely on these spots. It also aims to rally the community to protect accessible parking areas and better understand the rules of use.
indeed. All righty. How's the weather looking?
All right, well, you are there in Bermuda, but according to the weather service, you can tell me if they're on the ball. It says it will be mostly cloudy and a breezy day ahead with a shower or two around, but you should still have some sunny breaks.
Why is Sancha looking to the right, like so intense, like
Always, right?
just like
Let's see if they're on the ball, right?
no. But she's so intentional and means no. It was just like, well, let me see. I can look.
Yeah, and then here in Jamaica, where I'm at, the Met Service says today will be partly cloudy across northeastern parishes, but otherwise mainly sunny as it is right here where I am in Kingston, Jamaica.
It felt like she is showing off, like just letting you know, Sancha, like, hey, we got sunshine and
Yeah, sunshine all the time.
wow.
It's sunny today.
It
You know,
is.
the wind is probably gonna bring the clouds in, but it's sunny. That's I'm looking at. I see the blue skies, and it's sunny for now.
A bit chilly when I was walking outside earlier.
Yeah, it looks chilly, but I
Yeah.
haven't been out today. But it's sunny.
What's any days of the year? Good one? Any warm ones?
Not really. Today is National Oatmeal Muffin Day.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so oatmeal muffins are delicious and delightful. They just make oatmeal jealous itself. Celebrate National Oatmeal Muffin Day is easy. Go and grab you a oat. Do you eat oatmeal muffins?
I eat oatmeal.
I
But you
prefer,
don't eat
I prefer the banana nut muffins.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't
But
think
go try one today, Jamal. Warm it up.
If tomorrow you try an oatmeal muffin, you find one today, text me and I'll go
What's
try
your
it.
favorite muffin?
To me,
Yeah.
I like banana nut muffins, and the other one that I used to really like was blueberry.
Yeah, I love blueberry as well.
I feel like they don't make them like they used to. It's a
Yeah,
different.
I haven't had a blueberry muffin in ages.
My favorite is bran muffin.
Really?
I
Right?
love
That
bran.
sounds so healthy.
I know.
I love bran muffin.
Muffins ain't supposed to be healthy as what's wrong with her tomorrow? Like,
She's a little bit too healthy.
hey, look, she's always just the health nut on the show, I guess. I don't know. Making us feel guilty. Tomorrow we'll see you later.
No
You have
problem.
one
Have a
today.
great week.
All right, folks. If you appreciated this morning's discussion, please give us a thumbs up, love, like, make sure you share it. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back. We're going to be discussing what we can do to improve the local economy, especially during the holidays. This is a conversation we all have to be a part of for various reasons. Stick with us.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
All righty, welcome back to the big show. She's Sancha Durham. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, if you don't know, you no longer need social media to tune into Bermuda's daily talk show. The Daily Hour is now streaming live on thedailyhour.com. So props to all those who have made that transition. As stated before, you don't need social media. But if you'd like to comment, we are currently working on that feature, but you'll still have to comment on YouTube or Facebook only. But again, becoming more accessible and making the show more accessible and available to every Bermudian, because we've had those challenges. So thank you for your support. Folks, we have to transition, but before we transition, you just want to read the comments from Charles H. Jefferson II and Sean DeShield Sancho. We've got Charles.
Charles says sports tourism has more impact on tourism than the event is going on. And then just the event is going on. Sorry.
Yeah. I think he had a mix up. Okay.
Sean DeSeo says Bermuda can learn that mega sporting events such as this World Cup are significant economy drivers. Job creation, foreign revenue generation, and infrastructure development are just a few benefits. 1.5 new jobs were expected to be created in Doha as a result of hosting WC 2022. And Carla J says, since most countries don't make a profit hosting the World Cup, it would be difficult to say that Qatar's World Cup was a real economic driver.
No, I think to Carla's point, Olympics or World Cup, most countries take a hit for the event. The economic driver part comes from everything that comes from it. So like for the America's Cup, the economic driver is not necessarily the event taking place, but it's everything around the event after, the marketing and promotion that comes with it. For instance, there are thousands, if not millions of people that would like to visit Qatar now, right? Yeah. And the Middle East. So that's the economic driver. It's not necessarily the event. So truth be told, we won't know what that profit unless a PwC or one of these companies say, maybe a decade from now or 20 years from now, they may have paid 220 billion or whatever, but they've made 300 billion. So truth be told, the economic drivers from everything that's done today probably won't be seen for years to come. But to her point, I've got this book. I still haven't finished reading it. Field of Dreams. I don't believe in taking government funding and investing it in sports stadiums, arenas, or sporting things like this to happen. I believe in letting private sector do them, but that's just me. So it's I would say it's way too early to tell. But let's transition, folks. Let's transition. Sancha, second question for the focus today is how can we support the local economy this holiday season and beyond? How can we, like Bermudians, support the local economy this holiday season and beyond? And I'll use an example. So my niece only, just everything to her for toys is People's Pharmacy, right? So if I bought her a doll, she would expect it to be from there, which is interesting. Like my aunt even said to him, there's other places that sell stuff, right? But she's that kind of person. That's her narrow view. Mm-hmm. But for me, I'm okay with that, because for me, I'm saying, okay, if I spend $1 at People's Pharmacy, it's circulating in the economy. If I spend $1 on Amazon, you get where I'm going? And I understand that people feel Bermuda doesn't have options, like, I'm buying clothes from here or there, I'm not buying this or that. But I think we need to understand, if we can educate people about how they benefit from when we spend in the local economy, I honestly think Bermuda would definitely be in a better space. What are your thoughts?
I have so many thoughts on this. Obviously, I'm in retail. I think that we have grown. We've grown up in a space where we've always been taught to think that Bermuda has nothing.
Mhm.
Bermuda has nothing to offer. It's so boring. I can't, it's nothing different. And then also we try all the time to be so unique. I want something that somebody else doesn't have, right?
Mhm.
Always the narrative.
Mhm.
But I think that if people would just open their mind a little bit and take the time, you would be pleasantly surprised that there are some really cool spaces and people have created some really cool shops
Mhm.
that you walk in there and you're like, oh my goodness. And even there's spaces now whereas you can get stuff at US retail in Bermuda. So it's actually more beneficial for you to shop in Bermuda because you're not paying the duty, you're not paying the, you know what I mean? But I think that it's part of it is, and I'm not going to say we have everything. No, we don't.
Mhm.
We do have a little ways to go.
Mhm.
But I think that you should take that time and at least take a look,
Mhm.
open your mind a little bit and take a look because you will be surprised.
No, seriously. I think there's so many things to it. I mean, as a person in retail, it keeps people employed when you shop locally,
Mhm.
right? Your family, your friends. Um, it keeps taxes low. Well, sorry, it should keep things like taxes low, but that
But
depends.
even when you look at that price tag, I think that people should consider because they'll look at the price tag and be like, I'll just order that on Amazon. By
Mhm.
the time you ship it, you pay duty, you're probably going to end up paying more
Mhm.
than what you're actually paying in the store. Maybe a slight, maybe it's not the color you want or I don't know, but
How
I
do we educate people to understand this, though?
say that again.
How do we educate people to understand this?
I just think that we need to stop driving that narrative that Bermuda doesn't have anything. Yes, a lot of our stores have closed down. I
Mhm.
will take that on the chin. I get that.
Mhm.
But without calling names, there are certain stores that they have brands
Mhm.
that you can actually go in there and within that brand you're like, okay, and maybe I can call out the brands without the stores. Like you can shop Mango, you
Mhm.
can shop Coach, you can shop MCM, you can shop Gap, you can shop it's so many different brands that we actually have in Bermuda and they have current seasons,
Mhm.
you know? And some of these stores, you can ask them if they can special order. So if you see something that you like that they don't have, like, hey, can you special order this for me?
Mhm. Interesting. I honestly, who, huh? So if you're telling me if a purse is $4.99 in Bermuda,
Mhm. Like, let's say a Coach purse. If
okay.
you go and say a Coach purse, it's gonna cost you. You see, go online and you see it for $475.
Mhm.
You can get in Bermuda that same purse for $475 without the tax that you would pay in the US.
Really
Yes.
interesting. Oh, so I guess the question then people would say, well, yeah, but they don't have a great selection. So
I was just gonna say that. Yeah,
what?
sometimes, obviously, as a buyer,
Mhm.
we have to pare down and make certain selections, and that selection may not be what you were looking for. So,
Mhm.
in that aspect, if it's something that I really saw, I see you carry this brand, I
Mhm.
saw this online, and I really like this. Are you able to get this bag for me?
Mhm.
Then ask them to get it for you. They will get it. You will get it at US price, and without the duty and shipping.
Yeah. It's folks. What are your thoughts? I'm honestly, Sancha. I'm being honest. You're giving me a lesson this morning, and I hope she's educating others. But how can we support the local economy this holiday season and beyond? What can we do? Because at the end of the day, truthfully, the state of the economy has a lot to do with our behavior as well, not just the government. But a lot has to. I see people all the time. Oh, and people are saying buy Bermuda. No, let me be clear. I went and got 3 fish sandwiches and I ordered fries the other day, and I paid $79. It was 79, or yeah, 79, $79. Now, I'm not one to complain about prices. I'm not, folks. I don't. At the end of the day, people have their prices, and that's food. So I'm gonna eat it. You know, I'm not gonna go hungry if I can afford it. But understanding how retail works, how can we change our behaviors? How can we educate people in the process? Let's go to the comments. How can we support the local economy this holiday season and beyond? So Charles H. Jeffers II says, I agree. You will be surprised by the shopping in Bermuda. 2 stores for men that I enjoy their selections are Luso and Waterfront Man. And I walked across Waterfront Man the other day and had never heard of that one.
Yeah, that's new.
Yeah. Okay. And what brands do they have there, Sancha?
I don't know I know they carry Hugo Boss. So that's where the old A.S. Cooper Man's was. So they carry, I think they still carry Polo. Luso, they do Ted Baker, and I know they do Scotch and Soda. So if you're looking for brands, there are stores that carry brands in Bermuda.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you know another thing that there are so many Bermudians like that have local brands that are doing such really cute niche things. And I think that we should be open to supporting our locals and taking a look at what they're doing. Sometimes people's like, oh, she's making that out of her house. And it's not necessarily happened that way. Like I follow Alyssa. I don't know if people know Alyssa on Snapchat, and she's going to factories. She's created her own clothing line, and the stuff is really cool. So maybe we should look at like unique gifts as well.
I'm smiling and my face lit up because I was literally gonna send a message. Hey, let's speak about local people that produce and stuff. And she just, that's, when we work before. No, sorry, you got here with people. You got here. But again, no, seriously, Sandra, like even that's the biggest component to me. Supporting local creatives that are doing in this space, right?
Yeah, people making candles. You have tons of people, like just so many different things. Like it'd be great to hear if you know of people that's doing stuff. Like I know every year I get my mom a spice box from Umami. Like she lives by their spices. They're amazing. They're handcrafted. Like, they're cool gifts.
Folks, I want you to do me a favor. Hit me up personally, privately, or you can do it on the show now publicly. But I've got to get some gifts for some of my colleagues back in South Florida. I want to take only Bermudian made stuff. Like I know I took some of the stuff that I got down the airport, but I don't want to just take stuff there. I want to tell me where to go to get some, whether it's candles, spices. I know we have those spices, but just let me know, because again, I don't want to get too personal, but that's why I always say I talk on this show, but I definitely put where my money where my mouth is. So let's go through some. We got a lot of comments on. Which one? Actually, you go, man. Go. Go.
So Janet Maynard says there are so many things that we can purchase here that are cheaper than purchasing overseas. I like quality rather than quantity. Which is great. And then she also goes on to say Sancha and Hugo Boss and Police are cheaper here. Sorry, she said, Polo, yes, are cheaper.
I was like, what's Police?
But maybe a brand. There is a brand called Police.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know about that.
And I also want to go into Michelle White, where she says, I truly feel sorry for men. They have 2 shops and both are high-end. What about the affordable wear for men? With that being said, I think that this is where we touch on the fast fashion piece, right?
What's that? Fast fashion again? I know you told me.
Fast fashion. So it's when you're buying every single season, lots of stuff, quick stuff where you're going to wear it and get rid of it, right? But if we're investing in like, let's say 5 really nice polos that are going to last you for 3 seasons, rather than a quick t-shirt that you're going to get rid of at the end of the season, it's actually cheaper for you in the long run. And we're doing great by, the
environment. Yeah, this shirt I have on, for instance, I've had it for about 6 years. This is Johnston and Murphy. And I guess that's an expensive brand. I mean, the shoes are like $150 at Lewis. And if you know me, before I met my wife, I had never purchased a pair of shoes that one's over $100. But and you marry a shoe designer, your habits change, and then they blame you for having a shopping problem. But that's another show. But no, I get your point about I mean, I didn't understand what fast fashion was, but I understand it because truthfully, and this is no offense to anyone, but when I did start purchasing Johnson Murphy or Cole Haan shoes, these shoes last. Like they last. Like folks, I'm literally got shoes 2013. I've never had to throw a pair away.
Yeah.
I've not, and that's me telling the honest truth. I have never had to throw a pair of Cole Haan or Johnson Murphy shoes away. So I take your point. So Michelle White, I think the answer to that is pretty much it might seem like a bigger investment at the time, but it's probably worth it because instead of having to buy another pair of shoes the next year, this pair of shoes will last you. Like this $150 pair of shoes may last you 8 years versus the $60 pair of shoes or $80 pair of shoes lasting you a year or two. So I guess that's the way to look at it. Let's go through some more comments. Sean Smith says, people have to remember that options are very expensive for business owners. Bermuda lacks the sales volume to bring in a diverse range of options to sale. Well, speak to again. I'm following Sancho on this because I understand it that volume-wise, it's not like we have a Walmart or a Target where you can order like 10,000 or they're in the millions, if not billions. But speak to that, Sancho.
When I tell you, when I go to do buying, I would be presented in a season. I could be looking at, let's say, in one delivery, 100 different pieces, right? And this is like different styles, and I have to pare that down to know you can only order 17, and it's like, oh, because we don't have the volume of people, and we're small. We are a small country. We don't have all of that foot traffic, so we have to be very precise in where we spend our budget and our money, and just pray that you get it right. So when we say, oh well, we don't have options and we don't have variety and sometimes it's worth just saying, hey, you guys have this, but I did see this and this I really like. That can also influence the buyers next time we go to buy. That can influence our view, like, you know what, that person, and I do it a lot. We had people coming in asking for XYZ. I think we should choose this one this time instead of that.
Yeah. Let's go through some more comments before we wrap it up. Rosalind Famous says, TDH does a good job of highlighting the resources we have available on the island. Something similar for retail resources, maybe part of the solution and inventory of small businesses.
I feel like someone had something like that. I'm going to go and search like a small business inventory, like just a list of, I have to go and look for it.
Okay.
So next time we're on, we'll touch upon it. I'm going to go and look for it.
And if we can't find it, if it no longer exists, that's an opportunity for some people. Charles H. Jefferson II says, last year I gave my niece who lives in New York City a gift certificate to Orange Bay, and she was very happy. Carla J. says, $79 for 3 fish sandwiches and 1 order of fries. I need to get my money up before my next visit to Bermuda. Yeah, I did. Folks, it was
local fish.
It was local fish. It was good. It was
local
good.
Fish. That man went out in a boat and caught that fish.
And I'm a true story. I asked my daddy. I was like, I'm looking at the water, and I'm like, do these guys go fishing out during this weather? Like, I thought about it. So they're putting their life on the line to feed us. Let's go through these last few comments. Sherry Vanderpool says, a gift for Sherry, don't forget. Sancha, your sister talking to you.
But I only buy gifts for people that are going to be on island. I don't.
Well, Mark Arthur C. Phillips says nature locally made body butter is nice. Have you heard of that one, Sancha?
I haven't.
No, I haven't heard of that.
I've heard of Dove and Body. I've heard of a few different. You know what else I like gifting? Bermuda honey. Like, I love gifting Bermuda honey. I feel like that should be a staple in everybody's pantry.
I wonder if Chico from Chico and Tea still has his spices as well.
He does, yes.
Okay. We've got Charles H. Jefferson II says the Christmas markets were great to purchase locally made products. I think Huckleberry has one tomorrow night. Cherie Dill, the Bermuda brands tend to sell out quick, so I think we do support. I always look Bermuda first. Unfortunately, the selection here is just not great. It's so hard shopping here for kids or shoes. I don't need brands for my 7-year-old, but it still needs decent quality. Anything to that, Sandra?
I agree. I have a difficult time with shoes for my son. So Cherie, I can't even say that you're wrong in that aspect. I mean, I feel as soon even school shoes this year was just a bust trying to find them. I think that they sell out as soon as they're here, and I think that it is an opportunity for someone to go within that market. And I'm the same. I don't need designer clothes for Maddox, but I do my son Maddox, but I do make sure that I feel like his clothes are quality because he is going to be wearing them over and over, and I am going to be washing them a ton of times. So I don't mind spending a little more and getting longer. Like I'm one of those people, you pack your clothes away for the winter. I pull his clothes back out the next year if he hasn't grown a whole lot, and he's wearing them. So
What are your thoughts on Sean Smith's comment, though? Maybe retailers need to bring back catalogs so people can purchase items that are not available in store. That way, they're not sitting in inventory for months. What remember those days?
have online shopping for that, but I think that's I think people in the day and time that we're in now, you want instant gratification. And I remember when I was young, my mama used to bring home that next catalog, and I used to go through it and mark off what I wanted. And now we have online, right? That will create a whole lot because every single time one person comes in, I think that's more of a special order. If you like something, that company sells that brand, then ask for them to special order it rather than going in to pick from a catalog. That's a whole nother business.
All right. And Charles H. Jefferson, I forgot about Danielle Painter does have a small director. Is it the NAB app, right?
He has a NAB app. I'm not sure. Like normally I have been seeing a lot from them, but I think Danielle has her own brand now. She's doing like these really cool headbands, which is another, gift option.
Yeah, that's what I got, folks. So I'm just, I just tell you what I got you. But anyway, no, I liked it when she was on the show and Sister Sherry had it on. But Sherry, one of us is not getting you a gift for Christmas. Guess which one it is, folks? Thank you so much for your contribution. Let's do a giveaway today. Let's give away a holiday edition. So we'll do a giveaway when we come back. Don't forget, this Friday we have quite a few giveaways this Friday. So thanks so much to you all for your support. This Friday, this is our final week of live episodes for the year. So we've got about 4 episodes to go after today, but Friday, we're going to wrap. Everybody's going to be in the house. We want to invite you all into the studio as well to engage with us. So you know how you are. You all want to say, oh, well, let us know. So get your hair did, wash your face, brush your teeth. Well, you don't brush your teeth. Nobody's going to smell your breath. You're on camera. But anyway, just hang out with us this Friday. Let us know your thoughts about, this year on the Daily Hour and how much you enjoy everybody except me. Yeah, because I know how you guys. I've been hearing what you've been saying about me behind the back. Yeah, they've been calling me short. All that stuff that you always been saying, they've been calling me those names. But stick with us. We'll be right back. Yeah.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All right, welcome back. Thanks again to One Communications, Medical House, Lindo's and People's Pharmacy. Folks, if you enjoyed today's conversation, wherever you're tuned in, if you're able, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the website, YouTube link, Facebook link in your WhatsApp groups. Make sure that we're having these conversations. At the end of the day, we have a role to play in our economy and our country and jurisdiction as a place where we want people to visit. We're going to do a giveaway in a second, but it's time. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia. New edition, the holiday edition, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Sancha, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, this is the easiest, and I mean the easiest.
Oh gosh, you always say that.
All right, I mean, Nikki got it right, so here we go. Which of the following places is known for having the New Year's Eve countdown with the onion drop?
New York. Oh, the onion drop? Bermuda.
Let me finish.
Oh.
Government House, Victoria Park, King Square, St. George's, or Snorkel Park?
St. George's.
Okay, that was easy. I told you. I didn't even start my music. She got it. That's in Bermuda Trivia Edition. That's in it. Aunt Karen got it. Nicole walked. No, that's not fair because Nicole lives in St. George. That's not fair. That's St. George. Everything's St. George's. She says, I'm St. George's. I'm like even cop match. So, I ride with her, but she got it too. So folks, the hashtag for today's giveaway, we're going to do it. It's not Bermuda Trivia today, Rosalind. It's going to be the Daily Hour. Hashtag the Daily Hour. Let us know, Sancha, what final thoughts on what Bermuda can learn from, Qatar, and then as far as, how we can support our local economy?
What can Bermuda learn? I feel like, as I had said earlier, sticking true to who we are and not, creating those experiences based on who we are and our culture is, right? Not selling out for not selling out for a bid, if that makes sense, as we had stated. That's what I feel like we can learn from that. And they did it seamlessly. They made sure that transportation was free and accommodations. We have a long way to go, and we know this, right? We've been talking about this for a while. We know this, and I just think that we need to get things in motion instead of us sitting here complaining about it. We need to get things in motion.
Indeed.
Retail in Bermuda, I think that give Bermuda a chance. There are things out there. Maybe take a little time. I know we're all very busy, but take a little bit of time and take a day and shop around. And I feel like you'll be pleasantly surprised with some of the things that we have to offer.
Yeah, indeed.
And shop local. Don't forget local designers, and there are people using their talents. Support that.
Indeed. I concur with everything you said, especially as a destination. Let me be clear when I say this. There are a lot of things with Qatar that I probably don't agree with, but we're focusing on what they do right that we can learn from. And I think they have done things right. Some things you don't need money to do. You don't need money to stay true to who you are. As far as the supporting our local economy, again, I do my best to do that. As a person who doesn't reside full-time in Bermuda, I probably support the local economy more than a lot of people who do. And that's facts. That's based on what people share. I'm happy to know that I'm contributing to things. I'm actually, and I say this seriously but jokingly, I'm actually mad I did not visit Nail Bar every occasion I've been here. And, Sancha and I consider us friends and family at this point, but I'm glad because I'm a person who I'm a guy that does get my monthly massage every now and then, my pedicures. I'm that guy. I'm not ashamed to admit it. So it's not something I've done in Bermuda regularly, right? So I'm happy. I am happy to know that she has an offering like that and that I can support her in doing something that I enjoy. So folks, support people you know. If you know someone who has a business, you don't have to support them. But if you know they do a good job, why not? Check them out. Check them out. It's helpful. we've got to do the giveaway and daily inspiration, right? So let's do the giveaway. Let's see what, man, you all's in the comments. Hey, let's do this, Sandra. Let's see who's got it. Big money. Let's see who's gonna win themselves a little something, something. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Big money. Big money. Big money. Big money. Big money. Who's it gonna be? Renee Simmons. Congratulations. Well, you know what, Renee? Email me directly this time. Everybody else is on vacation, right? And you know what? I've been able to hang, as I said at the beginning of the show, I've been able to hang out with Michelle White. We did coffee. I've been able to hang out with Mark Arthur C. Phillips, Traveling Trotty before she went to the World Cup. She didn't take us, right? And Shayna Smith. So maybe, you know, we can hang out. I don't have any more money for coffee though, Renee. All right. So let me sell some more Bermuda trivia cards. But look, hit me up, Jamel at BermudaCommunications.com to collect your winnings. So it's my name, Jamel, Jamel, not that Jamal stuff, at BermudaCommunications.com. I know I have to get back to Auntie Karen, and I will do that today. So folks, let's make sure if you see me on the street and you speak and I don't speak back, there's a disclaimer. My eyesight's not what it used to be. So it's not like I'm ignoring you. I just don't recognize you, and I may not have seen you. If you see me on the bike and I'm riding and I don't speak, that's because I keep hitting the indicator, thinking it's the horn, not the horn. So don't think I'm unmanly and all that stuff. I mean, I am to some people, but you're not named Sherry. Any daily inspiration for the people, Sense?
Yes. So the best way to not feel hopeless is to get up and do something. Don't wait for good things to happen to you. If you go out and make some good, things will happen. You will fill the world with hope. You will fill yourself with hope.
I love that. Good stuff. Good stuff. I love
Who
that.
that is?
No, who is it?
Barack Obama.
All right, Bia. All right, Bia. All right. You know what? I just realized Barack Obama's initials are B.O., right? And their dog, no, I didn't realize his initials B.O., but their dog was named Bo Obama. And I wonder if it was like a thing, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't read. I'm sorry, folks.
Aha moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm weird like that, folks. I'm sorry. All right. Sign of rules. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Linda's, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you. We love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sencha Durham. I'm Jamal Hartman. My friends, please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.